All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's get into this. It's the grand finals of the KSL, the Korean StarCraft League, week 30. And it's going to be, of course, Dark in the top right, trying to get his expansion, having it denied, and Hero in the bottom left. Dragon Kaiser Gaming Showdown. These two play in so many tournaments, so many finals. And it's so funny because every time I interview them, they always say, I hate playing against him. He's a nightmare to play against. And I'm always like, you beat him the last few times. And they're like, it doesn't matter. It's so stressful. I never understand what he's going to do next. I can't understand or predict what he's doing. He's so stressful to play against. It always feels like my brain is burning a lot hotter than in a normal game because I'm trying to understand a guy who's kind of crazy. And I'm just like, you realize you play the exact same style and the other guy thinks the same thing, right? Basically, you've got two guys who are so constantly trying to metagame each other, pull dirty tricks, and just have crazy abilities to make insane comebacks. And let's be fair, to also throw advantages because they're not the most safe players, and they've both thrown massive advantages versus each other in the past. It's just this funny match where getting that perspective recently after interviewing them a few times in Pigfest and a few other tournaments and being like, wait, you find it as stressful? Okay, cool. It's not just me casting these games going, what the hell is he doing? I often get critical comments where they go, well, Pig, you just don't understand, mate. They're not the majority. There's just a few of them. But they go, you just don't understand. Like, you know, and obviously some people are joking, like, you don't understand the raw, just massive IQ and genius of these two. Are you calling Hero's timing attack bad because it hit 2 minutes later than it should have? You just don't even know. But I'm pretty sure the more I talk to Dark and Hero, the more I learn that they also are just as confused by each other's builds and aware of the fact that they're often trying to be so unpredictable that they do sacrifice a ton of efficiency. So it's all about surprise and unpredictability over straight up efficiency. It's basically these two guys are the polar opposites of Lambo. I always think of Lambo as a pinnacle of refinement organization in his play. Who, I don't know, if I had to pinpoint a weakness with Lambo, it's maybe like really stressful mechanical high APM situations where you need to just do a ton of stuff really well. Being perfect in those situations, maybe sometimes he has a failing. I don't cast enough Lambo to really say that confidently, but, you know, maybe fair. And I feel like it's the opposite for Dark and Hero. Like, his openings are so much better than these guys in terms of clean efficiency, gets a little bit ahead. But these guys are so used to playing from awkward, just kind of messed up positions that it feels like they are so confident in that scenario. And they're always able to fight from behind and make comebacks from just about any situation they can. Gets to the pillar, does Dark. Adept into Stalker. Very defensive play from Hero. Now, is this going to be a quick... it's not going to be 4-gate, is it? 4-gate's the older way of doing it, which I love, because you can immediately make 2 Archons, and it actually is 4-gate. So Hero's doing an old school Archon rush. You do need gas on your natural pretty early, though. He does squeeze the gas in before the Warp Prism. Where's the pylon? So he goes Warp Prism, and then you purposely get supply blocked on 46 here. Where's that pylon? Okay, you need to start it, though. Okay. He does start it. It's okay to get a little supply blocked here. It's part of the build, because getting that Prism across the map so you can warp in the moment the Dark Shrine finishes is part of the build. Immediately putting on gas, because you need a lot of gas. You need 500 gas to warp in 4 Dark Templar. So you can see, I think this build's going to time out pretty well. Now, Dark has a Spore Crawler. Wait, he's building 2 Spores? Oh, very early as well. Okay, interesting. But he has a Roach Warren on time and a second gas, so he should be able to build the Roaches needed to respond to this. But with no lair, he's going to need to move a Spore Crawler down to his natural. Alright, I think the Prism starting before the gas... Oh, no, it times out pretty well. 433 is warping in. The Overlord hasn't seen it yet. Oh, you might have noticed, though, because Dark is really... You know he's going to be looking for this. Okay, Dark Templar coming in, Prism coming in from behind. Oh, he tries to trap the Queen. Nice move. The Roaches are moving across the map. Dark, what are you doing, mate? Dark with a very slow response on the Roaches, but the Spore Crawler moving down is the more important part of this. Uh-oh. Oh, God. Oh, wait, why did he pick up? He could have killed that Spore Crawler. I'm not crazy, right, guys? I know Spore Crawlers root quickly, but I'm pretty sure he could have killed that Spore Crawler. He had 4 Dark Templar right on top of it. I think Hero maybe was looking at home, looked back, and then got freaked out. He's going Blink Dark Templar right now. Oh me, oh my. Hero's bringing out a meme build. He's got a bunch of Zealots and an Adept at home, Stalker and a battery in the wall. Dark Templar are going to be going in towards the 3rd base now. There is a Spore kind of up to the left of that base, interestingly. This is kind of cool. You can blink on spore crawlers and kill them with this opening, and then run the prism in to pick them up if they get in trouble. Overseer's on the way. Hero's going to have to be careful here. Is he going to blink up the cliff? No. I don't think that makes any sense. He's just going to back off for now. 8 Dark Templar. This is the classic build, guys. This is the classic versus rogue build from BlizzCon. But he's not going to be able to get into the main base on this map. Not with the triangular third being taken. And there's Overseers there. Oh, the Dark Templar running into the roaches. He loses a Dark Templar. Has to blink away. And Immortal's being built, but there's Overlord Speed and a Roach Warren. I'm not sure why Overlord Speed. Maybe just to get Speed Overseers to help chase these Dark Templar down a little bit easier. Dude, he's on 10 Dark Templar right now. Hero is bringing out the memeiest build to start this series. He's actually up in economy right now. Dark Templar have crazy damage, so they can blink on roaches and kill them pretty decently. Do have to be careful. Without speed, you can see the Overseer is not fast enough to catch them. Extra Immortals on the way, so it's going to be a few Immortals into Forge. A few more probes are building, but Dark is just going to go for an all-in. These Dark Templar need to morph into Archons, and they need to do it soon. Hero, get out of there. There's an Overseer spotting you. You do not want to lose these boys. You got to morph Archons. Okay, so we're going to have Archon Immortal defense. So many Archons as well. Lings are going to be nearly worthless versus this, but Ravagers would be great because they massively outrange. Roaches are kind of okay, but once the 2 Immortals get on the front, that'll be a bit better for Hero. Oh, one of his Archons was morphing out front there. Nice battery overcharge, but it's enough Roaches to one-shot. Oh my god, he's got the one-shot lethality. And with no Prism to pick up, Hero cannot defend this. Oh my god, I did not even consider that Dark would get into one-shot territory. The battery cannot help you stay alive if your units are getting one-shot. Dude, I always forget about that. The critical mass of Roaches. Oh man, it's such a wild move, but Dark, he knows his numbers, and he's like, dude, you made way too many Dark Templar. I am just going to make enough Roaches to one-shot your stuff, and it doesn't matter how many units you warp in. I think you're just too outnumbered by these Roaches. Nice Prism Micro here. The Immortals and the Archons doing what they can. The Archon's off on the right side. The Immortal a little bit exposed. Got to be careful. The Overseer was almost blocking him from clicking on it. Another Immortal rallies down. Dude, if Prism was there from the start of this fight, this is a completely different situation, but because he was trying to go for a Zealot drop, Hero ends up taking a pretty bad fight. This part of the fight's going kind of well for Hero, though. I think Dark might be overextending. I feel like with the Immortal Micro, the Prism Micro, the Immortals are getting crazy value. He cannot lose the Immortals, though. He's still picking up and dropping them, and it looks like that third base has been overrun. Charge is here. The Immortal's nice hot pickup Micro. Third Immortal is here as well. He's going to drop those Zealots, pick him up. Dude, if he keeps his third alive, he's on equal workers. How many kills we got, guys? The Immortals have 15 kills and 9 kills. That's a 24 kill pair of Immortals. Wow. Spires on the way as well as 11 more drones. Great play. Because as Hero, you're so afraid of dying to the next wave. He's making sentries right now, which are terrible versus Mutalisks. They will give him some scouting potential as time goes on. And he's making more sentries. Oh, he's just got to go for an attack, though. If he makes 6 sentries, he could go for a timing attack with a 4th Immortal. He's got 6 gateways. Oh, that might actually work out. Dark's up on 58 workers, 6 gases. Going to transfer down to his 4th, add a few more of these workers here and there. The Overseers are going for a scout. Seeing that army, you got to feel like, okay, Mutalisks are going to be fantastic, but I think you got to build your Roach count up. Transferring workers from the main quite nicely. He's hidden one of his Immortals in the Prism. That's interesting. He's kind of hiding his Immortal count. 5th Immortal's on the way. Remember, he has +1 weapons as well, so those Immortals do 55 damage a shot to Roaches. Prism going up in the main. He's going to save that Immortal. Oh, he's trying to get across the map as quickly as possible, and Dark sees it. Dark is going to contaminate +2 on the Forge. Spire is not ready just yet. It's about to finish. Does he still invest in the Mutalisks? He does. Hero doesn't have much that shoots up. If he makes a few Stalkers, I mean, I think an Archon's actually better here. I think Archon with Guardian Shield might be his best bet. He's going for Zealots. Can you defend? Dark just needs to buy time. Those Mutalisks will clean up pretty much this whole army on their own, but his army on the ground is not as solid as those Immortals and Force Fields. A few drones going down on the left to a Dark Templar that runs in. The Zealots try to run forward, but look at that. Ravager Cocoons on the front that have lower attack priority. Oh, great Micro by Dark to buy time. The Mutalisks go after the Warp Prism. He ends up splitting just 2 Mutalisks to go after it. Stalker Warp in. Will it be able to complete in the top left of our screen? No, barely not able to. And I think this is going to be good enough. because he's going to clean up the whole army. Yes, he lost a lot of drones, but cleans up the army super one-sidedly, and Dark holds on. Hero getting caught out thinking, oh, mass Archon with a few batteries, that can't die to roaches. Turns out if the roaches volley you down before the battery can do anything, yeah, Archons aren't that great there. Very well played by Dark. All right. Let's go. Dark with a nice counter push. I love the roaches shoving like that. It's something, it actually triggers me as a Protoss player. When I see a Zerg shove their roaches forward, because it's so dangerous against Archons. You take massive splash from Archons when you run your roaches forward like that. But the one thing I always forget to take into account, because I can't see through my Protoss hatred of a Zerg that's stupid enough to just A-move the most basic crappy unit in the game with no transition. Why would you do that? Like, what the hell? Why would, you know, like, this is actually my unfiltered thoughts that pop into my head when I'm playing PvZ. Don't get me wrong, guys. Your thoughts aren't necessarily a true representative of reality. My conscious, my conscious actual being as a person, I recognize that's not what I truly believe, but it's what pops into my head. It's what the voice in my head shouts angrily as I die to a roach timing, as my Archons get volleyed down, much like Heroes much just did. Luckily, Hero is a stronger and smarter man than I am, and I'm sure he is not angry by that. He just will be like, oh, damn, that sucks. Should have kept the prism there to dodge those shots. And yeah, if you stutter step your roaches forward like that, it's actually wild. It's really, really big. Sniper core on the way there as well. Nexus going up. Oceanborn's a small map. If you look at the attack angles, you've got a decent wide attack angle there. But if you build a few gateways out here, it really limits it. And because that ramp, even though it's big, is so nearby, an army in this central position can defend 3 base very well. Likewise, the 4th base of Protoss out here, you can kind of, it's not too hard to defend. Yes, they've got an attack angle from there and here. But I still feel there's a lot of like microing back and forth that can make it quite hard for the Zerg to break into those areas if they play a classic Baneling style. I think Lurkers may be a great play on this map, Roach Hydra into Lurker. Stargate coming in behind the Adept. There is a Chrono on the Adept. I wouldn't mind double Chrono. You've blocked the natural, forced him to take a third. You might as well be double chronoing Adepts across this map. Warp Gate starts, second Adept, and do we get a second Chrono? Looks like nope, just not even pressuring with the Adept. That's bizarre, man. He's just focusing on denying Dark scouting his hero, and I really feel, oh look at this, he's trying to sneak the Adept home. But it just gets spotted? I don't know, I feel like you're giving a bit too much freedom to Dark. That being said, Dark goes and builds 4 more Zerglings anyway. The Adept now hunting for any Zerglings trying to sneak in. He will go across the map with no second Chrono Boost. That tells you he's not going to be highly aggressive. And in fact, he's just going to Chrono Boost probes on the natural into Chrono Boosting the Oracle. Adept comes forward, and Dark calmly able to start link speed, start a 3rd base. And of course, you're going to see he re-rallies his main back to its own mineral line, realizing that that Adept is out in the mid-ground. Now, he's actually got 10 Zerglings. Does Dark. So Dark overbuilt Zerglings. This is like a weird thing where Dark could have been extra greedy because his Overlord saw there was no second Chrono Boost. But he massively overbuilt Zerglings here. I mean, you only need 2 Lings in the main, 4 in the 3rd, and that's more than enough. Gets a nice surround, but the Adept shades backwards. Those 2 Adepts will be able to defend that 3rd quite nicely. Oracle sees these 10 Lings coming. With an Adept in the wall, 2 at the 3rd, and an Oracle, should be an easy defense for Hero. And it's an appropriate response pulling that Oracle home in this scenario. Great pylon positioning. The Adepts being very adventurous though. Nicely done. Second Oracle pops out. Do we see Oracle number 3? Yes, we do. First Oracle. Enters the natural, sees no workers, pulls back. Spore Crawlers in both bases into a very quick lair. Second and 3rd gas. This is a Queen Walk. No, wait. With a lair? What is this build from Dark, guys? I don't... Oh, it's a Hydralisk build. It's a Hydralisk build. Okay, he's gonna go for a Hydralisk, straight Hydra, maybe into Hydraling Bane. Took me a few seconds to put that one together. Hydras, their upgrades did get a little buffed, a little bit faster, a little bit cheaper to get those upgrades in the last patch. Forge and Twilight after the 4 gas, so a very standard follow-up for Hero. This looks like just a Blink opening. And Blinkstalker's very decent at defending Hydralisks, but attacking on creep into them can definitely turn sour very, very quickly. 6 worker advantage for Dark right now. So far, deflecting the oracles very nicely. Oh, and even a slick spore trick. Only loses a single drone. Heavily damaged that oracle. Nicely done. 2 queens and a spore in the main. Where's the Hydralisk down, mate? There we go. He's going to hide it at the 3rd base. He doesn't want it to be spotted. He figures that's like the easiest place to disguise. 3 drones go down. Oracle goes back in. Gets 2 more. Nice micro for Hero, man. That brings it up to 7 workers killed. Hasn't lost an oracle. Of course, he hasn't seen that Hydra den, and it's very unlikely he'll get to scout that area. My question is, does Dark stop droning here? Yeah. Dark's going to do a 50 drone 4 gas Hydra timing. I think he'll go movement speed first. Usually people go attack range first lately, but I think in this case you want to go movement. No, he still goes range first. Okay. So he's going to go for a timing attack with a bunch of those Hydras. Now, how many gateways we got coming up? That's a lot of gates. That is going to be 7 gates soon. But he's not there just yet. And he really, if he realizes this is coming, Hero would be like, build an extra battery, make nothing but stalkers, you know, make just fighting units. He's just got to survive. But he's not really probing much, which is really good for Hero. So I think Hero might be catching on with how fast the lair is. That may have tipped him off. I think the fast lair has tipped him off. Oracle needs to turn that laser on real quick. You do not want to be losing these stalkers. Up against the edge, this is a very expensive trade for the Zerglings. Stasis traps would have been pretty nice here as well. He's going to clean up the Overlord. Hero has not seen those Hydras yet. Dark hides it to the last second. Hero, though, with a very crisp reaction. This should be a good hold for Hero. I feel like the fact that he stopped at 60 workers, if he was taking extra gases, building another robo, all that sort of stuff, this would be a problem, but he stopped at 60 workers. It's a 10 worker advantage. It's a scary moment here in the build. Does shade his adepts back to the natural. He left his natural wall open. Lings could have ran in there, but there aren't that many Lings. 17 Hydras and no movement speed upgrade for them. It's a not even bother with movement speed attack from Dark. He's not quite able to break that 3rd base. Okay. Mass Zerglings coming in behind this. The Hydra's still looking for the attack angle. He's waiting for battery overcharge to be expired. Nice angling here from Hero, though. He doesn't have any extra battery healing. Oracle's going to be going for the tags. And I think that's a very, very solid hold. Dark's all in, so Dark doesn't really have a follow-up play. He's going to start droning now. No, he builds more Hydras. Okay, so he's going to pretend that he's macroing. Try to deny the Oracle scouting. He's like, he needs to get the Oracles away because he needs to hide the fact that his natural doesn't have gases or anything like that. And then he needs to try to just set up a big surrounding engagement. So Dark's actually doing a defensive all-in. This should not work unless your opponent's stupid and pushes into you. Hero, I don't want to call you stupid. Just please keep it in your pants. Just a little bit of restraint. If he goes down to the left, there's a lot of Overlord kills that would be free, but he doesn't know they're there. If he gets surrounded, this could turn south. Hero, you do not need to counter push right now. He has not built any workers behind this push, but Hero is not checking for that. He does not know about the lack of workers and gases. He's about to get surrounded. Hero, get out of there, mate. Stasis traps trying to cover his retreat. Dark with a desperate defensive all-in. Hero steps into the trap, puts his foot in the bear trap, and he loses a lot of stalkers. The Oracle's going down as well. Hero, so predictably over-aggressive, and he gets massively punished for it. Second Robo Bay goes down. That'll counter the Hydras really well, but it's not here yet. And he lost 12 Stalkers for very little. Dark is still all in, though. Dark does not have any extra play, guys. He has to go right here, right now. Bunch of units get frozen by a Stasis Trap. He's got to keep scouting ahead with Zerglings to set those off. That's going to be a 2-adept counterattack going across the map with the Warp Prism. Prism, not much use on the defense against these Hydras. And it's just going to be Stalkers and a battery. A cannon in the mineral line trying to defend. Great angle for Dark. Bad angle for Hero, but battery overcharge and blink is scaring Dark away, and I think it's a good choice. Wait for battery to run out and then go in again. It's still hard to break Hero, but you're so far ahead on supply, it just might work. I don't think you care too much about losing a few drones here. Dark's happy to just chill for the moment. And I think seeing no gases on that 3rd, Hero now realizes, wait, you're even more all in than I ever thought. He's going Disruptors right now. They build a lot faster. Colossus is the better unit here, but he doesn't have time. He just needs to get anything out to help him defend. Hero trying to hang on. Hero needs to jump on the top side. If he blinks everything on the top, he can break those Hydras and then deal with the south. He does realize that, but he blinks in a bad spot. All of his Stalkers are stuck behind each other. Hero with a terrible blink. His units are getting hammered. None of them are fighting right now in the natural. Oh no. He might be able to bleed this out though. The cannon doing so much damage on the south. Disruptor does come out in the natural right now. We're going to try and get rid of that overlay to see everything we can. The Disruptor not shooting on the top just yet. The Stalker's blinking forward. Dude, this is a very stressful situation, but I think it looks like the Hydra numbers are petering out, and that should be just enough there. The +1 Blink Stalkers, the numbers, it just took Dark a bit too long to come in, and even though he's got more units, there's a new battery overcharge. The Stalkers blink forward, and yes, he lost a lot of workers, so the worker count is even now, but he's got Disruptors, he's got Blink Stalkers, he's got upgrades. Dark's position is pretty bad right now. Nice Disruptor shot to chase off those units. Good spreadies by Dark. Dark's going to start droning. Don't tell me Dark drones and takes a 4th. He's going to go double Evo Chamber at 10 minutes. I don't know, man. I mean, Hero lost enough workers. This might be playable. Dude, these two have such weird games. I love it. I love it. Dark's such a sneaky player, man. I mean, as much... Obviously, I don't think Hero's stupid, guys. I was just kind of... I'd already said, well, unless they're stupid, and then I was like, oh no, he's actually stepping into the trap. Dark is so good at hiding that move, where he hid those Hydras, and he denied the Oracles from seeing. Like, that's something Dark is so good at, letting you go with your assumptions. He's like, well, you can't see, so you assume I'm doing what 90% of Zergs would do in this scenario. Drone up, add upgrades, and go to the next level. Very few players will just keep massing the same units, wait for you to move across the map, surround you, and then pounce. But Dark set it up very well. He hit it very well. Whereas if Hero saw it, Dark would just be checkmated. Hero would have just pulled home with his Stalkers, added the second Robo Bay, but had way more Stalkers to defend. And then he could have actually maintained a concave. Something we didn't really see Hero do in those fights was maintain a concave at any point. He had very good kind of usage of batteries and trying to use them for healing. But yeah. Doesn't see the Evo chambers yet. But he does see the 4th base attempt. Hero going for some nice scouting. Single Robo is building a Colossus and a second one on the way. 4th base building as well. Hero is still definitely ahead in this game with the fast +2. 1-1 not yet finished for Dark. Dark's still trying to squeeze more drones in. The problem is a mass Hydra army just gets wrecked by Colossi. Because the Zerglings that are normally very good versus the Stalkers will get shredded. Oh, he goes for a big sentry warp in. Oh, very clever. Okay, so Hero's just going to start splitting this army and shaving units off and really just looking for good fights. He doesn't even need to force his way in. Hero can just take his time on this. Doesn't clear those creep tumors behind him, so that's a little awkward. Big flank coming in. Catches the Colossus rally. Oh, Hero. Uh-oh. All right, Hero's overextended. He needs to get out of here. Nice Disruptor shot to scare away some of the Hydras. Only 2 Hydras go down to that. Good dodge by Dark. The Disruptor does survive. Dark actually making a play of this. He's going Lair Tech Lurkers, baby. So Lair Tech Lurkers, only 8 range. They don't move that fast. But they come out earlier in the game. Technically, Colossus outrange them, but they'll do very well versus Stalkers. Stalker blink back micro, very slick. 4th base coming up. Templar Archives there. Mixing some Archons in. Really add a bit of beef to this army. 3rd Colossus, well, it's going to replace the 2nd one that died, will come out. Stalkers are looking to kind of deny hatcheries, pick off creep, using their superior mobility, while the Colossus Sentry Disruptor army is on the other side. 8 Lurkers are morphing. I think Dark is probably just going to shove. You know, make a ton of Lurkers. Look for a big kind of surround or a big swamping engage. But once again, I think he finds himself in a scenario where waiting for the Protoss to attack is his best chance at getting the fight that he needs. Because he really needs a surround on Hero's army to pull off the Lurkers. And Hero has adapted. He's like, look, I made that mistake earlier by attacking into a Zerg that was already kind of waiting for me to attack. I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to poke and prod, add Storm, add Cannons. And Hero knows exactly what position he's in. The Cannon's also adding extra detection. I don't know if he saw the Lurkers yet. But he's got only 1 observer. It's with his Stalkers right now. Massive Ling Hydra army moving south. Lurkers, oh, barely don't get spotted over there. Army on the right does get spotted. Okay, Dark's coming in from all sides right now. Mass links around on the Stalkers. Oh, you gotta watch out. These Lurkers are very cumbersome. Oh, 2 Lurkers get taken out. A Stalker goes flying across our screen. But look at this positioning from Hero. It's fantastic. Colossus on the right should be able to defend this side, or at least stall it out. Meanwhile, on the left, battery overcharge, Stalkers coming forward, those Lurkers trying to pull out. On the right side, same situation. It's a disaster for Dark. Dark is running out of steam. He's been in such a bad position for so long because the Protoss has more income. The Protoss is making better units. Second robo, fleet beacons on the way. We're going to see a carrier transition. Hero's like, okay, let's just not take chances this game. And Dark's so desperate. This is the right way to play. When your opponent is just waiting for you to make a mistake, all you need to do is not make the mistake, and you are getting further and further ahead. And that's exactly what he's doing. Lurker's going to try to run by into the third base, but there's an Immortal and a cannon there. If they can kill the cannon quickly, then maybe, but already the Immortal takes out one of those Lurkers. They're going to try and get in behind the mineral line. Don't think there's an Observer nearby, so the probes do need to run away from that. Hero does have some fighting units nearby. The Lings come in. They don't really do that much, man. The lack of detection is a big issue right now. Finally, the Observer's coming back, but look, these Lurkers are killing quite a few probes, especially if he focus fires them. That'd be massive. Oh my god, Hero not running his probes away. The army comes in the left as well. 15 probes going down. Hero's lack of detection. I thought when he first saw the Lurkers, he'd start pumping Observers, but he was a little bit slow on it. Nice battery overcharge to save the Disruptor. These two Lurkers, 19 kill pair. Oh my god. Oh. I mean, sentries aren't the most important unit to have. I guess it's not too bad losing them, but Hero F2s his army back to his third into the Lurkers without detection. He lets Ling Hydra into both of his bases. Hero leaves his door open. Zerg fans being gifted hope right now. Dark says, Hero says, I don't like to win one-sided games. I like my opponents to think they have a chance. I like to give them a little bit of hope, you know? Just let them sneak into the base. Why not? Lose my fleet beacon. Mama's already started, so it doesn't matter. Looks like he was just making the fleet beacon to build Mama. And of course, Dark's income's been so low. If he can surround all these Stalkers, maybe it's worth it. Oh, the Stalkers had already used Blink there to get back up the ramp, but the Colossus come in, and those lasers eviscerate the Zerg. Man, Hero, really nice hold on the initial all-in into a scrappy game. Dark got down and dirty, made it closer than it should have been, but at the end, Hero triumphs. All right, guys, going into game 3. Looks like Dark got his natural blocked again. Hero in the mineral line being a bit of a D-head, as he loves to. Very standard, solid opening for him behind with a bit of an interesting wall off there. That gateway is so vulnerable to a 12 pool. There's so much surface area. But, yeah. Gas, second pylon, all the standard stuff that we know and love. Dark not really bothering to counter micro this probe. It's actually insane. Dark is the player who takes more damage than anyone else from probe harass at the start of the game, I swear. He just like doesn't even react. He just hopes his drones automatically go back to mining correctly. And you can see there's drones like that one I got selected. They're just running around. That's now going to make this guy confused because he can't find a patch to mine. This guy now is confused about, okay, finally, they finally figured it out. And that there is a little bit of APM for Hero, getting massive, massive gains. Now, guys, Dark is doing a Queen Walk all-in. How do you know that, Pig? Well, the fact is his first 4 Zerglings are breaking rocks, which are going to give him a much quicker path to push across with Queens, Roaches, and Ravagers later. Now, the problem with doing this early, even though it improves the efficiency of the build, is if Hero sees that these rocks are damaged this early with his Adept, for instance, he's going to know 100% that that's happening. The problem is Hero keeps keeping his Adept at home. And because he's not looking for it, yeah, oh, I mean, Dark might even do like the Queenling Bane push. You guys know the ones where you just push like 6 Queens and you just rally mass Zergling and morph some Banelings. He might do that one even, like the really fast Queen Walk. Very good strategies. Oracle into third pylon on the way. Adept and Stalker are there. Overlord's going to take a bit of a beating from that Stalker. Oh, third gas. Very, very early. And he's hiding it in the back. So, Tempests or Carriers? What do you guys think? Oh, the Overlord tried to escape, but he caught it with the Adept Shade, so it had to go back to the pillar for safety. Nice moves by Hero there. Dark unable to escape. It's going to drop a 4th gas the moment that Overlord dies, guys. It's good he waited a second, because there is death vision. A unit has vision around itself for about a second, maybe 1.5, 2 seconds after it dies. But he hides the 4th gas. Second... Wait, gateways? Why is he making a 3rd gate? What is this? Okay, guys, Hero's drunk. Hero's got a Hero special build for us today. Oracle comes in, grabs 1, 2 drones. Does take a lot of damage doing it. The Hero is super drunk right now. And now he's building a fleet beacon. But why would you have a 3 gate? Are you going Mothership? Holy crap, he's doing a Mothership rush. It has to be, right? No, he's going for a 2nd Stargate. I don't understand what's happening. My head hurts. My head hurts, chat. I don't... I'm trying to comprehend Hero's build. Told you guys the players get aneurysms trying to anticipate what the other player's doing. Why does he have 3 gates? Is he going to do a non-Glaive Adept Oracle pressure? I think he's going to do that to try and distract him. Why is he building his shield battery then? I mean, he is getting all in. Oh, he saw the Roach Horn. Oh, he saw the Roach Horns really early. Okay, so he knows there's a Queen Walk coming. I mean, Tempest's hard counter this, right? Because they outrange it. The question is, can he even defend his wall? Is he going to get overrun? Because this timing is so early. It's a 33 drone. 3 gas. Ravagerling Queen Bush. Dude, he really needs to get another Tempest going. I don't know why he's making building damage. It's Tempest and Warp. You've got 3 gates. Make units. Make units, hero. You've got 3 gates. Okay, he's making Zealots and Tempest right now. He's making more Zealots. Okay, I'd like more batteries and pylons at the front as well. He's going to lose the wall off no matter what, which is perfectly fine. Tempest is here. That's going to start working on the queens, no doubt. It's going to take a while to really kill anything. The Zealots are running out front. Oh, careful. You do not want to be out front there. Okay, he's going to try and heal the pylon. Oh my god, he's going to heal the pylon. The pylon's getting focused down. Oh, the battery does get taken down by the biles. Okay, the wall has been breached. Ah, this is a really big problem for Hero. He might just die. This is such a crisp timing from Dark. Hero's very strange. 3-gate into double Stargate Tempest build. Might not have enough damage to deal with it. That being said, the Tempests are defending the Oracles as well. The Queens can't really squeeze through the wall. They take way too long to walk through. So we had to stop to kill the Cybercore. Trying to build a pylon in his face. Hero there, very ambitious. Cancels a battery, dodging the biles. Nicely done. The Oracles turn back their lasers on. They're very low on energy. They got to get rid of these Zerglings. The probes need to run. The probes aren't running. Oh god. Okay, 15 probes go down. Massive damage for Dark. And that's going to turn this into maybe a playable transition. He has 3 bases and a slight worker advantage. The problem is there's Tempest counterattack coming. And that's always, you need to do massive, massive damage. Massive, massive damage in order to transition, because those Tempests are going to ruin you. I like this move. He's going to try and pull the Tempest home by counterattacking with Zerglings. The Oracles can't help. He doesn't have a wall off. And he's sending the Tempest across the map. Oh god, Hero just screwed the pooch, guys. Hero is so eager to counterattack that he's going to lose. He's going to get these probes to the main. He has to fall back to his main. He's going to lose every single probe here. Oh no. It's going to be a Tempest all in. This is going to turn into a Tempest all-in. I think he might lose almost everything at home, trying to focus down the pylon building the Stargate. Zealots warping in. They take a bile to the face. Dark's Micro is so good in the heat of this. The Queen trying to get some damage on these Tempests. They do not care about a single Queen. It's going to die very quickly. The Spore Crawler's coming forward as well. Probes and Tempests are fighting Zerglings. What in the F are we watching right now? This is truly a Dark versus Hero game, guys. From the dark swamps of Dark and Hero's demented brains is coming one of the strangest PvZ matchups of builds I've seen. And it's awesome. They're both going for very tricky builds. I think Hero's ahead. And Dark indeed agrees. He's lost his third. He's got no answer to the Tempest at home. And he just doesn't have enough Lings rallying in to kill all those probes. If he killed all those probes, maybe he could have got enough Queens and Spores up at home. But he'd already lost his Queens and Spores trying to defend the third. And Hero takes a 2-to-1 advantage. If you had to ask me, what was that third gateway about? I would still have absolutely no answer, by the way. If you're like, yeah, so what was the third gateway for? I can only imagine he was planning to do a 3-gate Glaive Adept timing to try and... 3-gate non-Glaive Adept timing to try and distract Dark. Right? That's the only reasoning I have, is I'm going to make a few Adepts, be distracting, and just try and hide the fact that my Tempests are moving across the map. But, yeah. Dark was completely dead in this game. It definitely was not an early GG. The moment he lost 3 or 4 Queens and a Spore Crawler trying to fight the Tempest out here, there was no chance of him ever getting the numbers up, because Queens take a long time to build. GG. Alright. Dark's in the bottom right now of Sight Delta, and he's been blocked. Taking the natural 3 games in a row, now 4 games. And he's just like, that's fine, I'll take the third. Dark really does not seem to mind taking the third base, whereas guys like Solar have started going for 14 or 15 hatchery a little bit. Serral started going 14 hatchery as well, because players are sending a probe across at the very beginning to block his 15 hatchery opening. And I absolutely hate taking the third. I hate it. Dark does not care. I mean, to be fair, this is way better. Dark used to take this third hatchery at like 1 minute and 5 seconds. There was like a 6-month period where Dark's PvZ opening was legitimately the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. The funny thing is, his all-ins were so good in that period that he just won anyway. I was like, every weekly cup, he'd hide the drone here waiting for the probe to move in, and it would put a pylon down before it moved in, and he'd be like, huh, and then he'd move to the third, and it would be like, oh my god, your hatchery is 17 seconds late. Why did you not just build a spawning pool? Like, you'd be better off going pool first, getting the queen out at a fast time, and then take the hatchery. But Dark's openings were beautiful during that time, because no matter how behind he was, he'd make Ling Bane or Roach Ravager Queen, and he would wreck ya. I haven't seen any Nidus Queen Ling all in. No Chadray Annihilators from Dark in this series yet. It's a best of 5. It's about time he pulls that one out. The Queen Zergling Nidus. We just got news that there is going to be a $500,000 prize pool in Katowice, and yet it's not going to be the World Championship, by the way. So very exciting news. Can't wait to see where that World Championship's going to be. The fact that we do have such a big prize pool for Kato, so it is still a very big, meaningful tournament, is amazing. And yeah, that's super cool. We also got news there's going to be another tournament in America. Oh man, I've already forgotten the city. Was it Dallas? I think it was Dallas. I do love Austin. I miss that we don't have DreamHack Austin anymore. But I've never been to Dallas, so hopefully get a chance to go there next year. Depth shading forwards. Stargate in the wall off. Okay, interesting. No secrets here for Hero. He's going to get forward there. Sees the third hatchery. Dark's not really doing anything too crazy. He's left one. He's put one worker back on gas. Interesting. Is that misdirection, or is that a real thing? Because it's kind of late that he's put back on gas, so it's still not a lot of gas, but it makes me think Chadray Annihilator. Oh! This is a drone and a Zergling or two. That's kind of rough. Good harassment for Hero this opening. Hero remembers his pylon, and he goes for a second gateway as well. Interesting. A lot of the time you use the second gateway to wall off. He still builds the second gateway. He wants that double production. 12 Zerglings coming out. But the Oracle's going to see it. And seeing Zerglings running across the map often does tell you to turn the Oracle around to defend. But I think he's like, yeah, screw it. I'll just use the next Oracle. Third and fourth gas before third base is a nice reaction. If you realize, oh, I can't defend that right now. Let's just take those gases. Give my workers somewhere to mine from. We'll go from there. Oracle thought it was skirting vision, but the Queen sees it coming. As long as he pulls the drones back, Dark will be good. A little lazy. Dark was clearly watching this. He should have not taken those 2 drones. He could have pulled back and lost none there, but a little sloppy from Dark. Robo and a Forger on the way. What is this? Okay, guys, Hero's drunk. Hero's doing one of his drunk builds. He needs a third base. I mean, it's not the worst thing to do things in a slightly different order, but I just, knowing Hero, when he does something like this, it almost always results in me banging my head against the wall a minute or two from now going, this build made no sense. Let's see what happens. Oracle's going to fly in, gets a drone. Oh, that's good defense. You see, that time, the Oracle takes heaps of damage. Good D by Dark. Third base goes down at 440, about a minute later than a normal third base. Sentries, +1 weapons, and an observer. I can't say I hate any of this too much, but notice Hero's not probing right now. He's got to be careful about that. Oh, Oracle flies into the main there. I think he F2'd that through the main accidentally. That was hiding in the corner. Roach Warren goes down at 5 minutes. Nice greedy build for Dark. The fact that he feels confident delaying his Roach Warren that long, very good for him and his ability to absorb damage. Yes, he lost 5 drones, but the Oracles are both very damaged now. So they're not really going to have an easy way to find more. And that gives Dark a free pass to 60 workers. The only thing I'd like to see more from Dark is active Zerglings. I think he's worried about a depth shading in. So even if he just sends 1 or 2 Zergling scouts, I mean, he should be spotting the third base timing. Like, he's got to realize, okay, I need some information in this game. Sees the third, sees a few sentries and adepts. But he doesn't know if that's actually been probed up yet. So Dark should have a little bit of urgency around running another Zergling around this area to confirm that it's actually being droned. I say should. Dark doesn't really follow the shoulds and woods of scouting. He kind of just scouts when he feels like it. Sometimes he just gets a sense for what his opponent's doing. Right now he's playing 5 gas Roach Ravager. No fourth base. It feels like a big +1 Roach timing. We'll have to keep our eyes open to see what comes in next. Immortals, Twilight Council, and Robo Bay. Hero's going for a very turtley playstyle. This is very un-hero. Oh, nice queen positioning on the edges. Catches the Oracle. Only 1 Oracle left alive from the early game. I do like that there's an observer here. He's using that for detection, cleaning up a bunch of the creep tumors. First Colossus is on the way. +1 weapons is finished. I wouldn't mind an early +1 armor upgrade. Oh, we're going to see Lurkers. Darko's Infestation Pit, Hydra Den, 6th gas coming up, and a 4th base up the top, expanding in a straight line, a linear expansion pattern. The second Oracle just went down, though. And that means your scouting is going to be way more bare. The Warp Prism's poking in. It's going to go for a little bit of light harassment. Stalkers are being made, but there's no blink on the way, and that makes me think Hero's forgotten it. Maybe he clicked it, but didn't have the money, and he doesn't realize. Hallucinations coming through. That's very important. Hero's about to find out that I'm going up against a Lurker transition. Hive should be starting right now for Dark. The Infestation Pit just finished. And hallucinations leave. Hive starts. Charge! Okay, Hero's actually gone for 9 Stalkers, but he's not making blink. He's just going to go for charge. So I think Hero's plan here is just to hit a pre-Lurker timing. He's already got a Prism on the map. So as long as he... I would not build a 3rd Colossus. So if I was Hero, I'd be going either Disruptors or Immortals after 2 Colossus, because Colossus kind of suck versus Roaches and Lurkers. They're good versus Hydras and Lings. It's good to have a few Colossus in the mix, but if he builds a 3rd one, he's kind of investing a lot of money into a dead-end tech path. That being said, a lot of players just like to have 3 Colossus in every matchup. There's almost this, like, you know when you just see, like, 2 out of 3 workers on a gas and you put a worker on it, even though you've got 3,000 gas in the bank? It's not even a conscious thing. It's like an instinct. You're just like, I got to make 3 Colossus. It's a 3 Colossus timing. And you're like, they're not the worst. They fight okay, but Roaches and Ravagers really do not care that much about Colossus. So definitely, in my opinion, should be doing the other way. But Hero's actually taking a 4th base as well. He's not probing, though. He's only on 4 gateways right now. He's making cannon battery. Hero is playing an incredibly bizarre style. So he's going Archon, Colossus, Zealot, but he's also building a lot of static defense. Now he's adding Storm, but no probes. Interesting. And when I say interesting, I mean, it looks like, for all intents and purposes, he's setting up for the late game, except for forgetting to build workers, which is the most important part of setting up for the late game. I'd like to see Hero at 80 probes by this point. You know, you can defend your 4th base as well as you want. I don't even know why he built the static. He's massing cannons against the guy that's playing Lurkers. Bizarre. Cannons are not terrible versus Lurkers, but they're definitely not great versus them either. Hero is trying to go for Psystorm. Uh-oh. On that right side, force fields will be needed. Nice force fields, trapping a bunch of those Roaches in range of the cannons. Oh, great force fields. Really well done there by Hero. Gets a bunch of the Roaches and Hydras down. Lurkers have not been morphed just yet. Dark is on 78 workers. Not a giant income for him. To me, it does look like Dark is basically just going to get 1,000 gas, make 10 Lurkers, and then go for a big push. Carapace coming in on his 2nd Evo chamber. His Vipers are juiced up, man. Pair of Trend Boys there. Some TRT Vipers juiced to the gills. Boundless energy. High Templar will counter them if they can feedback. Lots of cannons here. So he looks like he just wants to create big walls of static and turtle up against the Lurkers and then go to Sky Toss. Wow. Hero turning a new leaf, guys. You know how I always say Hero needs to waistband it? He needs to tuck his stiffy away? Well, guess what? He's not just waistbanding it. This man showed up with a goddamn industrial belt, like meant for holding heavy machinery down on the top of ship decks in storms. I'm talking about the things on aircraft carriers that stop the planes from falling off in heavy swells. He's literally got one of those wrapped around his waist, and it is containing his aggression. He is playing the most turtley style I've ever seen. This is so turtley for Hero. It's surprising to see him change it up. Normally he's all aggression, jam it in, jam it in, jam it in. Instead he is just slowly turtling up. But those Vipers are causing him problems. Nice abduct. The feedbacks land, but not until the Colossus already gets abducted. There's only one there now. And you see what I said about cannons not being great versus Lurkers, guys? It makes very little sense to go mass cannon versus Lurkers, because Lurkers outrange cannons and do big bonus to armored. But for some reason he massed cannons here. I guess because he's doing his best impersonation of a macro player. Hero. Oh, the Colossus is going to get focused. He does land some nice storms. Hero might have to give up this base. He's got triple Tempest production on the way. Tempest can siege this down from afar. I think he was really just banking on getting the Tempest out in time to defend the Lurker push, but he isn't able to. I think with this sort of army, you want to always intercept the Lurkers far away from your base. Letting Lurkers or siege tanks siege in range of a base is always a disaster. And in general, building static defense to counter siege units is not the play. Hero is going to do a nice Zealot counterattack in the top. Does get a bit of damage done, but it looks like this 4th base is doomed. Getting reset to 3 base versus a 5 base kind of sucks. But Hydra's popping out and dying to these Zealots. That's rough for Dark. He has to use the drones to tank for the Hydra so he can finally get on top of it. This is quite a lot of economy himself. Dark needs to rebuild those drones. But he doesn't choose to. He's going Corruptors to counter the Tempests. So I think he's just going to dive. I think he's going to go Mass Lurker dive. Pyro on top. Corruptors dive on the Tempests. Basically, to stop this, Hero needs Storm and Immortals. If he can get Immortals for the Lurkers, Storm for the everything, he'll be good. But right now, he's forgotten about High Templar. He doesn't have any. Where are they? There they are. 6 High Templar. Never mind. He just warped them in. Warp Prism in the bottom. Still just chilling. Corruptors are going to kill that bad boy. Dark did now redrone to 80 workers, so he's resaturated this base, and he's on 10 gases. 1,600 gas a minute. Oh my god. Dark is gas heavy as all hell, guys. And these Tempests, there's already 7 of them. He's building 8. Tempests are a sniper unit. They are a support unit, guys. This is like building an army of snipers. It's not going to be a very good army. It's all about the Storm, the Archons, and the Immortals. There's a lot of Tempests. They will start one-shotting Lurkers, I think, at this point. But he's got to be careful to keep him safe from those Vipers. Those Ducks could be deadly. Lurker's going to try and break the cannons on the 3rd. There we go. Tempest trying to pick at him. It's all about the feedbacks. He needs those feedbacks. It's a shame for Hero, though. He doesn't have Revelation on the Vipers, only on the Lurkers right now. But he's starting to whittle this army down and pushing through Tempest, Cannon, Storm. Very difficult. Hero, careful, mate! Careful, mate! He chases very far there with his Tempest. If Dark turned around, he could have abducted and done massive damage. +2 ship weapons on the way. Dark's looking to be in the lead in this game by a little, but as the army stabilizes, Hero's got a ground-pounding army. 4 Immortals, 2 Archons, 7 High Templar. He's also got 8 Tempests and Sentries even backing it up as well. Cannons on the bottom starting to get sieged. Nice Revelation there. Watch out, Tempests! The Tempests are in the open! Hero's got to be feedbacking! Oh, a little slow on the feedbacks. He does land them, but his army stumbles into the Lurkers. One of the Tempests gets abducted, but actually a few of the Vipers get shot down. I think that's a good trade for Hero. Oh, here we go. The Lurkers are going to shove. Just pull back. Hero, just pull back. Don't fight into that. That's too many Lurkers, mate. The Tempests basically just need to chip at this. He just needs to run his probes away. If he leaves his probes mining, they are inches from death. Those Lurkers move forward. They're going to start getting massive damage. Hero not pulling his probes off this base. He wants to hold this ground. It is not working out, though. Those Lurkers are getting deeper and deeper in range. The Tempests are finding very nice damage. It's a very tense defensive position. Hero with great micro. The Storms absolutely devastate the Corruptors. Dark gets a bit of a stiffy, jumps on top, and he gets blanketed in Storms. Oh, Dark's Corruptors like a bunch of boys who've been out playing in the mud all day. And then Mum comes and says, time for your bath. And they go, no, no, no. And she grabs them by the ear, twists the ear, leads them in, and just shoves their head underneath that tap. That is what happened to Dark's Corruptors. Oh, he did a lot of damage to the probes and killed the Nexus. I do think Hero should have saved those probes. But on the other hand, the fight was so efficient for him. I don't know if it matters. Dark is mining way more. Hero's mining is terrible. Way down on minerals now. But he's got a killer army. He's out of Size Storm. It's just mass Archon Immortal Tempest. He's got 10 Tempests. He built even more Tempests than Madman. Oh, the Archons are going to do big damage. The Parasitic Bombs are pretty juicy. The Corruptors spreading here against the Archon Splash. The Tempests are going to go down. Is it enough Hydra Queen on the ground? There's no Size Storm. It looks like this is enough for Dark to just barely clean up the air army. But the ground army, I think, will win out for Hero. Corruptors do take out almost everything. He's got to pull back. Uh-oh. Dark has big income. He's got 2,200 minerals coming in a minute, but he's got to stop this push. Hero is all in. He's building a Mothership, a Void Ray, and a Warp Prism right now. An absolutely bizarre set of units. And it might be time to just build another round of Lurkers and go. No Spellcasters left on the map for Dark, but if he can make Lurkers, the Tempests are gone. There's no Size Storm, but there we go. 6 High Templar warp in and start gathering energy. Trying a long-distance mine in the north. He's got so many extra workers and not enough spaces for them to mine. Hero is in big trouble. Meanwhile, Dark, as long as he keeps transferring to these new bases, which he's doing a pretty good job of, he's going to be able to out-mine Hero. But if Hero can just sit here, build the elite army, and keep fighting the way he has, he's 5,000 resources ahead in the units lost. As long as he keeps securing a new base one at a time, I think he'll be in an okay position. Interestingly, he's building more Void Rays right now, which they can kill Lurkers pretty quickly with Prismatic Alignment, but it's a lot of micro that a lot of players aren't really used to doing. How often do you shift-click Lurkers in the middle of a fight with Prismatic Alignment Void Rays while microing Storm, Archons, using your Mothership abilities, and all the rest of it? We'll see if Hero does that correctly. They're also very weak to spellcasters, so Dark fans rejoice. 2 Vipers are building. I mean, as much as I've been saying Hero's been up against the wall and close to dying, you got to realize you got a lot of High Templar, you got Archons, you've got air units. It's a difficult army to deal with for Zerg, and I really feel for Dark because his ability to finish the game is tentative. He's not really ahead much in supply, even though he's got way more bases to mine from. If he lets a 5th base get up, he's kind of screwed. Oh, he's going to lose a base up here as well. Base number 7 does get sniped. If he kills all the Zealots, you could argue it's actually worth it because it's a good enough trade. He doesn't have enough Zerglings to block them. He's not even going to get a single Zealot. Famous last words, Pig. No, even that Zealot gets away. Base does instantly rebuild. A few Infestors on the way. Infestors and Vipers will wreck Void Rays. You need to stop building Void Rays as Hero in this scenario. I really feel like these Void Rays are so vulnerable to those spells. The Vipers should have energy by now. They do. As long as those Vipers come to the front, they're going to kick ass. Are they on a control group, though? Oh, he's forgotten to control group his Vipers. Uh-oh. F2. Uh-oh. He brings them to the front now. Hopefully he does organize those in a moment. Watch out for Fungal Parasitic Bomb. If that lands, he's screwed. If Feedback lands, Dark might be screwed, though, because that is a big army of Zealot Immortal Archon. Big army of Zealot Immortal Archon. The Lurker count is now at 18 Lurkers. Wow, he had enough money to make 18 Lurkers, and he's got money left in the back. Dark truly has been the richer player over the last few minutes of this game. Oh, man, Hero's trying to catch Dark out of position. Dark's been pretty good with his movement. Nice Parasitic Bombs. One on Mama, one on a Void Ray. Storms and Time Warp come in. Fungal lands, and a few of those Void Rays do take big damage to the spells. Unit slots tab. 5,000 resources in favor of Hero. Hero has a 5th base behind this. Hero's trying to make Tempest again. Ooh, nice Storm. I do like that he's mixing the Tempest in there. A very good unit for chipping away at this army. Oh, these Storms are fantastic. If he could just click the hatchery and run away, that'd be great. But Dark moving forward to punish him. Oh, there's no detection. Oh, here we go. Overseers and Corruptors do arrive, but not before the High Templar move forward. No feedback on the Vipers. Bit of a mistake there for Hero. Mama, she goes down, but Storms land on the Hydras. Overall, these trades seem pretty good. Now up to 7,000 resources and the units lost. Hero is looking great, but he's only on 61 probes behind this. He hasn't taken gases or transferred down there because he's been really busy. He's got a ton of idle workers, and Hero just not looking away from his micro for so long. Finally, he moves all those workers to the south. Oh, look at this Lurker ambush, guys. Lurker ambush, Fungal! Fungal! Nope, he doesn't go for it. Neuroparasite, by the way, has not been upgraded. Lurker's going to go for a counterattack right now. He leaves only a few Lurkers here. Uh-oh, but Hero pushes in, catches him. Oh, Fungal Parasitic Bomb! Second Fungal to chain it! The Wombo Combo, a 3rd Fungal! The Lurker's there as well. The Infestors run forwards, but the Void Rays all get popped. Adds to a bunch of Archons. And just like that, Dark says, sorry, what was that? 7,000 resource units lost advantage? How about 3,000? He closes the gap massively. But the Hive does go down. Nice snipe there for Hero. That Warp Prism waiting. Or actually, it was a new Warp Prism going in the bottom side of this map. Zealots also doing very well versus those Queens. The Zealots have 2/1/1 upgrades. The air units do not have +3 yet. Hero has completely forgotten upgrades in the last 5 minutes of this game, whereas Dark does have 3/3 and +3 air weapons, but he is lacking any Corruptor armor upgrades. Oh, the Lurkers just ruined the whole ground army! They just walked into the Arc of Lurkers and disappeared! Dude, moving in between the bases, Hero felt like he had to defend it. And when he moved into the Arc of Lurkers, these guys just obliterated the Protoss army on that point. Zealot Tempest trying to make right now. The Tempest getting gunned down. Mama's going to come down. -300, -300? Question mark? Tempest is going to get picked off there. The Zealots are finally starting to go down at home. Tempest coming forward to pick off this. Looks like the ground army just walked into it for a second time. And Dark ties up the series and forces game 5. Alright. Down here at the bottom left side, we've got Dragon Kaiser Gaming's Dark. And in the top right, Hero. It's game 5 on Alcyon to decide the entire thing. And Dark going north, interestingly enough. That does slow down his hatchery a little bit. But, that's about 4 seconds late. Not the end of the world. 3 drones pumping out there behind it. So it's just going to be a standard hatchery gas pool. Hero, you're going to notice he always puts the gateway as far forward from the pylon as possible. Part of the reason for this, guys, is if you're getting all in, right, you have your Cybercore here, opening there. You can put a gateway or a Cybercore, a big beefy 3x3 structure. Way better to wall off with that rather than a battery or a pylon. So just something, as a hot tip, if you guys don't want to memorize exact building placement for wall-offs, just try to put the pylon kind of far back from the wall and then put your gateways and cores as far forward as possible to try and give as much space to do that emergency wall-off in case you're being all-in. That's like 70% of when I see Pyrotus players who are like, oh, I can never defend Zerg all-ins. I'm like, man, if you just chuck a friggin' gateway down when you see that attack coming, you'd be fine. Now, this is a terrible wall-off, kind of. Not, oh, it's not the worst. It's right now, it's a terrible wall-off, but once he puts another building here, then it's a really good solid wall-off. So, fair enough. Not too bad. Let's see how much he disrupts Dark's mining this time. Dark has 3 workers on this mineral patch, only 1 on this patch and 1 on this patch. If he doesn't fix that, he's got way reduced mining. Despite it saying he has 16 workers, guys, he's got 2 mineral patches that are only being mined by a single worker. You can see already Hero is kind of ahead on the mining a little bit. Wouldn't be funny if I look at Hero's base and it's the same thing. No, Heroes are all doubled up properly. Dark now does have a bit more mining as the drones are up on that expansion. Because, of course, he does not have as much gas. So, comparing that, once you're already mining a natural, pretty dumb time to do it. But yeah, Dark is not fixing this. Dude, the lack of attention to detail. Dark never checks his worker saturation past the early game. That hurts his mining. It's significant, guys. I know it doesn't seem like a lot, but it's basically you've got 2 workers mining at 50% efficiency. It's when they could be mining. You're just down a drone for no reason. Nice pylon block attempt here with the Adept there, denying that 3rd base. Really well done by Hero, disrupting the opening. Cancels the pylon, does let those units inside, but the Adept is out early enough to shut down these Zerglings. Looks like, oh, he blocks it. Oh, but the Adept gets surrounded. 3rd base does get down. Nice move by Dark. The problem is Dark's pulled these queens so far out that they're not injecting or spreading creep right now. They are gathering up a lot of energy. This opening should favor Hero because he's forced out a bunch of Zerglings, even though he lost the Adept. He's forced those queens off injecting. And Dark, luckily Dark's actually hitting his Overlord timings correctly. He's not getting supply blocked at all. But definitely an initial worker bump. Hero losing the Adept does make it a bit more costly than you'd like it to be, though. Oracle's going to move across this map. Interesting that we haven't seen an attempt for the gold base for Dark. He's just looking to go towards the rich gas in the top left. Still a bit of a boost you get to mining, and arguably a safer expansion pattern. Oh, queens are well positioned. Nicely done there. Hero commits anyway. Mad Dog Hero goes for 3 drones. Pays a heavy price. That Oracle will not be able to do that again. It's very low on hit points. But 3 drones this early is quite impactful, so nothing to sniff at. You can always use that as more of a defensive Oracle, while your other Oracles start to go a bit more wild on the aggression. 3rd base at 4 minutes 20. So once again, 3rd and 4th gas before 3rd base. Hero's been enjoying going for this. And he's actually pulling off minerals onto those gases. Overlord sees those gases up really early. But it is just a Forge and a Twilight for now. Roachhorn and Lair start up for Dark. Creep spread around the main base. He's got 2 tumors inside his main, which is very unusual. 2 tumors out there, only 1 tumor on the top. Robo starting up as well behind this for Hero. Looks to me like Hero's going to try and play a Charge Lot Archon opening. Potentially playing Mass Charge Lot Archon Disruptor. It's a very common style. Classic used to love. 3 drone kills, not bad, but yet again, another Oracle put down into the deep red. So 2 Oracles, not really going to be that good at recycling on the aggression. Units lost tab though, 1 Adept for 6 drones, 4 Zerglings, not to mention the delay on the 3rd hatchery from the early game. Evo Chambers coming up, as well as a 2nd and 3rd Gas Geyser. The Evo Chamber tells us Dark does want to play a longer match. With his Blink +1. With all that gas building up, lots of Stalkers able to be warped in. Hero not really probing his 3rd right now. What the hell? Is Hero doing an all-in? Hero is going to 7-gate Blink all-in? Oh, he's cut a ton of probes to do this. I mean, you see only 2 probes on the 3rd at almost 6 minutes. That should raise alarm bells for Dark. But Dark's been distracted by the Oracles. He's trying to catch those right now. Takes a 4th base. He's droning up. Dark needs to stop building workers right now. I don't know if he realized with that Zergling, if he was watching, he starts building roaches though, which is absolutely correct. Roaches, Ravagers, Zerglings. He just needs army and he just needs to survive. Oracles come in, grab 2 drones. Dark's really been lazy with pulling the drones away lately. I feel like Solar is so good at doing it. The moment he sees the Oracle coming, he just grabs these drones, pulls them away. Serral as well. Dark just leaves them hanging out a bit. Dark just queued up drones! I thought he realized what was happening, but maybe he just happened to build those roaches for safety. He builds a bunch more workers. A lot of Blink Stalkers coming across this map. Hero is super duper committed. He's starting to build probes behind it, but this is a very heavy pressure. 11 Blink Stalkers at 6 minutes 40. Infestation pit going down. Dark wants to get Infestors to help deal with this. He's realizing this is going to be Blink Stalkers in his face for the next 4 or 5 minutes of this game. Oracles fly forward and die. Hero with some bad micro on the Oracles. Oh no, that means he's got no Oracle coverage for this. Mass Zergling could even do quite well now since the Oracles aren't there. Roaches and Queens suffering a lot of damage, trying to let those Queens do the tanking. Great micro by Hero though. Man, disgustingly good micro by Hero. Dark has to pull back the Stalkers. He's only lost 1 Stalker, and he's already broken through the front line. A massive surprise Blink Stalker all in from Hero. Great Oracle pressure earlier on. He already killed 9 drones in this game. Remember, with the Oracles, the Queens and the Roaches are going down. The drones are being pulled in a little bit too little too late. And Dark gets overwhelmed. Those last 6 drones a little bit too much. And I don't know if he was looking at it. We have to check very quickly in the replay. When that Zergling saw that third, and I believe it was 5 minutes, 56 minutes. Let's look at his vision. This is Dark's vision, guys. So the Zergling scouts the base. We're on actual in-game time. Does he look at it? He sends it in, but he's too busy looking at the Oracle, as I suspected. Yeah, he didn't process that, guys. He saw with the death vision for a fraction of a second what happened. I'm going to replay that one more time so you guys can see it. Look at this. So he's too busy looking at the Oracles, trying to catch them. And he glimpses for a second, but it's already in the fog of war, and he doesn't realize, hey, wait a second. It's 6 minutes. Why are there no probes? This should already have more probes than this at 5 minutes, you know? 5 minutes. This is like, oh, the Nexus just finished. It's 5 minutes. We've got 2 probes. He's at least 30 seconds late on his probes. But Dark did not process that info because the Oracles were keeping him distracted. Remember, 6 drones went down. He loses another 3 drones here. Great micro and harassment just non-stop in this game. And he builds 5 more workers here. 58 is already a little greedy for Dark in this scenario. And then because he scouts what's coming a little bit late as well, he's like, I think he even loses some Overlords here. And yeah, he just doesn't quite have the numbers, and it spirals out of control. Great opening for Hero. Remember, Hero slowed down his third and got a bit of a lead earlier as well. And he finishes off a very epic series with just a really crisp timing attack. Very well played by Hero. Hard to read as always. Catches Dark off guard, and Dark just does not quite have the numbers to deal with it. Well played by Hero. Wins the KSL week number 30.